little land. So even our main products, tea, coffee, for exports, we're not able to produce in quantity, so we can export profitably. But one of the key assets that we have is our people. So we need to invest in our people. And the service sector, like we mentioned, the financial services, the transports and logistics are really the subsectors that can drive this economy so that we can achieve our vision of transforming Rwanda into a knowledge-based economy.
Okay. So back in 2010, services in Rwanda accounted for 47% of the GDP. So where are we right now, one would wonder?
Very good point. What we have to understand in those metrics is that year on year for the past 7 years, the service sector actually grew. The GDP were growing about 12% per year compared to the actual GDP of the country, which was growing to an average of 8%. So
okay.
the actual sector really rose drastically, and this is mainly due to the banking sector, the telecoms, the entrance of those more regional banks actually were catering for most of the jobs created in our economy. And now we about 47 still. But the aim is to reach about 55% by 2017. And that's all services combined: tourism, IT, financial services, and other services.
Like you've said, or rather like you've mentioned, you have in your department a lot of services that you deal with. So what are your priority sectors that you as your department looks into to see Rwanda grow business-wise and in either way?
Within the department, we're essentially focusing on financial services, transports, logistics, and healthcare services. The reason is that we identified those subsectors as key job creators, but also potential for exports of services. For the financial sector, we are looking at creating what we call the financial service center, making Rwanda a hub for financial, so attracting a lot of banks, investment bank, sophisticated finance products in the region so that we can serve beyond the region. We're looking at the BPO, the back office and middle office operation for international banks, so that we can position Rwanda as a relay between Dubai, Mauritius, and serve clients within the region and beyond. The recent strategies that we actually drove within RDB are the financial service center strategy, but also the private equity strategy. We actually look at all the major reforms that we should take on to transform Rwanda into a hub and make Rwanda a preferred jurisdiction for those funds, those investment funds, and position Rwanda as a financial center in the region. For medical services, is definitely attracting an investment, a specialty hospital that would serve the region, and that's having people from different countries traveling to Rwanda to get treated. And that's the concept of medical tourism. We've been succeeding in having an Indian hospital, very famous in India. Now we want more of them to come and serve the region. I was there recently and I was quite amazed to see that clients from Kenya, Uganda, Congo, and Burundi were actually being treated in Rwanda. And you know the multiplier effect of such an entity in Rwanda is paramount. So you come most of the time to get treated with friends, your spouse, husbands, and that requires cost in terms of accommodation. Either you go to the hotel, you rent your apartments. Most of the time you're doing the first checkup. The doctor asks you to come back. You just can't afford to pay 2 tickets and go and do back and forth. So you better stay in the country. And this is the economy trigger around medical tourism. So currently we have a strategy that the aim is to identify what are the specialties within the medical, the healthcare sector that Rwanda can have a fair advantage and promote to attract a maximum of clients, international clients and regional clients. And the other aspect is the logistics.
Okay.
As we speak now, I use the word landlocked, but Rwanda is becoming more land-linked. The reality is we have our national carrier that now expands to different destinations. Central Africa, Asia. They're about to launch a new destination in West Africa, I think Ghana, a month from now. Without mentioning that we are serving the region down to South Africa. So really, and we acquired new airplanes that are up to the international standards. So just that favors our trust in our industry, the logistics, and also the cargo, the freight. Because Rwanda, the position of Rwanda is very critical in the region. So we want to make Rwanda a distribution center for the region. So all the trucks coming from the different corridors, north, south, east, will pass by Rwanda, so that we created a redistribution center and a center for re-exportation. The special economic zones that we are developing, the different centers across the countries, so that we will reduce the cost on trades, cross-border trading. And yes, so more and more we want to also entice our people from the region, from the country, to also looking at markets elsewhere. And that's how we want to make Rwanda focusing on logistics and making Rwanda a distribution center.
So let's say you're trying to create Rwanda, because right now they say Rwanda is the ICT hub in the region. We're almost there. So right now, is it also trying to become a hub of services where we independently, financially, we are not threatened in any other way? Because Rwanda right now says it wants to become the regional financial, So do you think this is actually achievable? Because if we actually export, if I could use that term, experts from outside to come in and help us, do you think this is achievable?
You know, Fiona, thank you for this question. When you look at the history of Rwanda for the past 15 years, I would say that people could have bet that Rwanda could not reach where it has reached today. Just you facts, we are the #1 in doing business in the East African region. We're on the #3 in Africa, in Sub-Saharan Africa. Number 45 worldwide in 2012. So I think we somehow succeeded in improving all the reforms to have a better investment climate. And that's how you see all the investments inward investment coming in Rwanda. We do combine both FDIs and local investments, so there's no preference. We do favor foreign investments and local investors. But what I'm trying to say is that the ambition of becoming a hub is actually linked to all the major reforms that we did before, because we start and decide we want to become an ICT hub. So what do? It's all linked with skills, the internet connectivity, the speed, and currently the infrastructure. We've been succeeding in fast-tracking the infrastructure with the broadband and the fiber optic. So very soon, Rwanda will provide high-speed internet. Rwanda will actually become that IT hub, as we mentioned. And IT is a support service for the entire vision of making Rwanda a service-based economy. So that will trigger also the financial center, because if you're talking about back office and middle office operation, being the support service for those financial institutions all over the world, we need to rely on a very, very, very efficient IT system. So I don't think it's over-ambitious. It's just a question of time, and I think all the major steps towards making Rwanda the hub have been put in place. We need to walk the talk and make sure that the private sector, the investments also responds positively.
So you've talked of private sector. How do you think you as your department or RDB in general, how will it push for us to reach that Vision 2020? We are right now 2013. Vision 2020 isn't that far. We have come a long way, but then how do we sustain this?
I think the key point here is really to engage the discussion with the private sector.